Greetings, brothers and sisters. On November 11th, Veterans Day, our nation pauses to honor all who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Forces. It is a day set aside not for celebration alone, but for a profound moment of reflection on the cost of the peace and liberty we all enjoy. From the farmers who picked up muskets in 1776, marching on frozen ground for the radical idea of self-government, to the young men who preserved the Union in the crucible of the Civil War, their courage forged in the smoke of places like Gettysburg and Vicksburg, to the women and men who serve around the world this very hour. Veterans Day reminds us that the cost of freedom is borne not in abstract ideals, but on the shoulders of those willing to stand in harm's way, to trade the comfort of home for the uncertainty of the front line. As Commander-in-Chief of the Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War, I am deeply mindful that our organization exists because of veterans. This is our foundation, our reason for being, and the focus of our mission. Our forebears, those Union soldiers and sailors, did not serve for personal gain. They did not fight for territory or riches. They fought for the survival of our republic. They fought to defend the soul of a nation dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Their sacrifice ensured that the promise of America would not perish from the earth, that they would not allow the hard-won liberty of their fathers to dissolve into two nations, one free and one with slavery. That spirit of selfless service did not end in 1865. It is a continuous thread woven through the fabric of our history. It lived on in the doughboys of the First World War, standing guard in the muddy trenches of Europe. In the greatest generation who stormed the beaches of Normandy and liberated the world from tyranny. In those who defended democracy in the unforgiving cold of Korea and the steaming jungles of Vietnam. And in the veterans who pursued justice across the sands of Iraq and in the mountains of Afghanistan, and countless other conflicts where the peace of the world hung in the balance. The torch of service has passed from Bunker Hill to Appomattox to us this very day. It is a brotherhood and a sisterhood defined not by the era in which they served, but by the oath that they took. On this Veterans Day, we recognize not only the veterans of the past, whose stories are in history books, but the men and women who, today, return home from active service. They return home having seen and experienced what most Americans never will. Many carry scars, both visible and invisible. The wound of a lost friend, the sleepless nights, the quiet struggle to translate the intensity of a mission into civilian life. Their battle doesn't always end when they step off a plane. They are our neighbors, our co-workers, our family members. They are the same person who swore that oath, but they are also profoundly changed by their service. They deserve more than fleeting words of thanks. They deserve tangible care, robust opportunity, and unqualified respect. We must ensure that they have access to the mental health support they've earned, the job training they need, and the sense of community they relied on in uniform. And our duty as citizens is to ensure that they do not stand alone when the uniform comes off. We must be the bridge that connects the warrior to the community. This obligation is not new. It is the cornerstone of our national character. President Lincoln reminded us in his second inaugural address of the solemn and enduring obligation to care for him who shall have borne the battle and for his widow and orphan. That sacred promise did not end with the Civil War. It remains our charge today. Every generation of Americans inherits not only the blessings of liberty, the right to vote, to speak, to worship, but also the responsibility to safeguard and support those who have defended it. The success of our republic is measured not just by the strength of our military, but by the integrity of our commitment to those who were our military. We honor their service by fulfilling our promise. So let us this day not merely as a treat this not merely as a pause in our busy lives or a brief flag waving moment before we return to our routine, but as a solemn commitment to action. Visit a veteran. Take the time to genuinely ask about their story and truly listen. Share their stories with the next generation. Teach our children the meaning of sacrifice, not as an abstract concept, but through the names and faces of real Americans. Support the organizations that serve our servicemen and women, the hospitals, the aid groups, the mentorship programs. Donate your time and resources. Most importantly, be an understanding and patient presence in their life. Offer a simple, non-judgmental welcome home. Let us make certain that Veterans Day is not just about memory. It's about action, presence, and lasting gratitude. To my fellow veterans, whether you served long ago, carrying memories of distant conflicts, or returned home just yesterday, trying to navigate a new chapter in your life, you are remembered, not just today, but every day. You are honored for your courage, your discipline, and your selflessness, and you are loved by a grateful nation. May God bless our veterans. May God bless the United States of America. And may we always be worthy of the sacrifices made on our behalf. Thank you.